Right, hopefully this is loaded. Welcome to the Spitfire. We see another problem with the Spitfire at night time is there's no cockpit night lighting, so... Oh, there is, floodlights. Ah, floodlights, there we go. You can't see them in the dark there, right? So we're using the floodlights. Now, a few problems with Spitfire. One, these exhaust things here. They glow hot, red hot. So that causes a glow up front, so we won't see anything. Two, there's no exhaust flame dampeners, so we will get the full flyer coming at our faces. In real life, that would cause a big problem for night vision. Obviously, I'm sitting in a bright room right now, so it's not really a problem. And I've got a bright screen looking at me, so also not a problem. You can't really simulate night vision problems with a simulator. But we're ready to go. I've primed the engine. We've got 20 degrees Celsius on the oil. We're going to be heading northbound to Innsbruck. I'm going to be using no navigation equipment. I'm going to be purely relying on terrain and this little compass here to get me back to Innsbruck. I've got this one too, which theoretically should be more useful, but I actually have no idea how to set it up. So if that's north, then the plane is where? I don't know how to use it, so I'm not going to bother. It's a bit complicated. Right, trim set there. We've got 3 clicks of right bias. Transponder on. And I'm going to go for a quick VATSIM sesh. So Volanta's going to come up as well. So it's recording everything. And we're nearly ready to go. Connect Merlin to Spitfire. No, we're not a Merlin, not an observer. The flight plan is going to be that way, and it's going to be Louis. We're going to go by DTN2, DTN1, PBS1, PBN, Brenner, Sierra. There we go, that's it basically. Call sign Merlin, type Spitfire. We're going Louis with an alternate of Bolzano. Departure time is 10 PM, which is actually 8:30, so 20:40 Zulu departure time. We'll take 35 minutes. We've got that much fuel on board. We're going to cruise at 250 knots. And for minimum safe, we're going to go to 10,500 feet for our flight plan. Come on, 1228. And engine start. We're primed already, so this should just work. Hopefully. Go, engine's alive. Vibrations of the cabin. Right, taxi time. So off power, roll it around, squish this guy, I'm taking the guns away. Don't need them. Nav lights on. Don't have any other lights, there's no landing lights or anything, so we're relying entirely on seeing things. Okay. There's the runway. Take off actually to the north this time. And we're going to turn these floodlights all the way down. So get the lowest possible lighting. Now, I'm going to go and find a quote from the website that specifies how night ops were done in the Spitfire. Hopefully it will lead to a bit more understanding. Let's close the door. Now Trento is indeed a 24-hour airport, so this will be perfectly fine. However, I can see nothing, so I'm just going to turn the lights off behind me because I can't actually see anything. Okay, there's the runway, that's good. Got the runway in sight. We've got a flashing red light there. I'm just going to go and turn my lights off. Right, so I've got now my lights off, so the only thing now lighting up my screen is the actual Spitfire. Quote: if you were flying the Mosquito, you had two engines, so you had no swing on takeoff. It was balanced. In a Spitfire, there's one engine and torque going one way. It scared the shit out of you. The first time you took off, you didn't know where you were going. The swing was terrific, had to be corrected right away. So, it's going to be a fun takeoff. Let's do it. Back to the right, parking brake released, power to 7 bars of boost, letting the nose come up so I can actually see the wrong way. Yeah, I'm airborne now. That's the taxiway lighting, so I think we're on the taxiway. Okay, so now we're airborne, we can rely on the ground and the lighting from the city to navigate. Okay, we're at safe altitude now, so I'm going to reduce to 4 bars of boost and 2,200 RPM. No 2650 I should start with, so still climbing. Use 7 bars, 7 psi even. Close the canopy. Try not to get into too much cloud, really. Hand flying this. So you keep it around 2,000 feet per minute. So, map wise, as we come out of Trento, we're just going to start picking up the moon. Over that way we've got lead up Renter, and we've got Delta November Echo 1. To the right of the valley we're going to follow the motorway, which is just down here, the main road here. You can really see why during this period lights out was very much a requirement, and we don't need the GPS, because you can see that we can actually use this to navigate quite well. So we're going to actually navigate across along the road here to Bolzano. When we get to Bolzano, out of pure necessity we're going to follow the motorway up towards Innsbruck, because obviously without that we have no real chance of finding our way. So you can see the motorway on the right there, so following it around. Basically just going to try to stay at an altitude where... actually, yeah, let's go dark. Why can't we go dark? There we go, it should be dark now. No, still got lights on. 3 lights stuck on the whole time. see the vertical speed meter at the very least. We've got the moon. I'm going to give myself the compass, 30 degrees 030. It's going to get us towards Bolzano. Currently at 7,000 feet, entering cloud. Night VFR/IFR. Visual with the ground, and if I roll I can see the motorway there, so that's okay. Motorway is visible at all times. I'm just going to climb up to 8,000 feet for safety. If I'm visual with the motorway, I know that the valley floor below is a reasonable level where I don't need to be so high up, so 7,000 to 8,000 feet is perfect for this flight. See on the left there we've got a problem with terrain. We wouldn't have had any terrain radar back in the official days, so I'm not popping out the GPS. Okay, now we're going to start heading more northbound. We can see some nonsensical terrain here. I'm going to head actually directly due north. Keep climbing. 8,500 is definitely safe for us at this point. Flying on instruments now, if you can call these instruments really. Keep pulling it around. We've got the beginnings of Bolzano coming up ahead. Okay, we're going to reduce to 4 bars of boost and 2,200. Cruise set up around 8,500 to 9,000 feet. Underneath on the right hand side, you can see the airport of Bolzano just underneath the nose ahead, so I'm going to aim for that and then pass it over to the right hand side. Speed of 240 miles an hour, which is very normal for the Spitfire. Now we just basically got to hope that we can land in Innsbruck. Now the only thing that we have got that's unrealistic is airport night lighting. I'm not sure what they did back in 1940, but I'm fairly sure it wasn't huge strips of LED lights. Just roll over, check. There's Bolzano ahead, so we're okay. Been told to make the power go idle to see what happens. Pops and bangs. Spitfire just pops and bangs. Fire there, you see? Alright, 4 bars of boost, back to 2,200. That should accelerate us up to cruise. Trim for the power. follow the motorway. So ahead of us we can see the Dolomites, Trento, Trento, and so on. So I'm just going to try and fly night VFR all the way. So Bolzano underneath on the left wing, flying a heading of 050 degrees right now, holding 220 knots, just to give us a bit of extra time to look and see. Underneath, not much to see. Nighttime aerobatics not recommended. However, there is somewhere here a motorway. That is the motorway. This road here. It's not a very good motorway, so we'll have a look. We'll see what we can do. 7,000 feet now. Heading more or less due north now. So head up to about 030 degrees. And that will basically get us up in the valley on the right hand side. We've got on the left hand side Sarantino area, on the right hand side Val Gardena and Cortina, and we're basically going straight up the middle. Trying not to climb too much. About 8,000 feet, not too high. And put the nav lights on just because it's real life. Cockpit's closed. Golf course lower right side, possible landing area. It's nicely lit up. We don't have landing lights, so we won't see the runway, but we will never see the runway anyway, so what's the difference? To the left, when this valley disappears around to the left with a very clear city, then we are in the right position really. Reality, what we should have done is made a proper chart with leg times and speeds to be flown, altitudes to be at, but I can see here that the valley is splitting right and left, so this is the Valdecassis, so we're going to go to the left, start following this around and basically trying to follow the terrain as much as possible. Looking ahead. Okay, actually we want to follow this for a bit more and follow it around that way, as the heading doesn't quite match up. We're still too far to the... I think 030 degrees is about right. We don't want to be going directly north just yet. try and stay on the terrain. We've got some clouds ahead, motorway coming up this way. Now the motorway should start snaking around to the left slightly, so we're expecting heading left of north before we turn left. So that was my initial navigation blunder there. We've got 8,000 feet now, levelling off, just kind of holding it at a rough level. And looking ahead, I'm seeing a village over there, and there's only one explanation for that. You can see the road beginning to appear in all aspects. So this is our left turn. To the right we're expecting a less well-defined motorway, but actually the motorway is more well-defined to the left, so we'll now take a road to the left. And we should be over kind of Bruneck area. Actually, Bruneck is going to be the city over there. So Brunico, we're now heading towards Vibideno, Sterzing, just before the Brenner Pass. I'll try and keep it above 8,000 feet here, as you can see the terrain gets a bit of a problem and it's much darker, so it becomes less obvious when we're about to fly into a mountain, really. So good thing we've got the moonlight, as that's just helping engage just a little bit of that. There on the left ahead you can see the mountain road snaking down from Trento. Just going to try and keep the vertical speed at 0. We're going to have to do a roll every now and then just to check. Okay, we're following the motorway there, and pull it back. Follow the motorway there. Right, we'll fly the heading now. So I'm going to fly 300 degrees. Turn slightly to the left. Actually, I'm going to fly 310, which is going to be this one here. 310 degrees. Hold that until we see the Brenner Pass appear on the right hand side. If we keep ourselves at 8,500 feet, we'll have no problem with terrain. We can't make any more shortcuts across terrain because I can't see. That's this village of Sterzing, actually, straight ahead. This is the mountain pass towards Trento, so we've identified that. On the right hand side we're going to have a mountain here, followed by a big mountain here, which is a possible route through to Innsbruck, so actually would take that if I knew that the altitude would go, but I can't quite judge it here. It's not so easy to see a horizon in the mountains and also in the dark, so not going to risk it. Basically going to follow around the valley here. There's a mountain village there, staying above 8,000, just trimming it nicely. Just losing Sterzing behind us up there, the Jaufen Pass, you can see there. That takes you up towards St. Leonard in Passero. Hi Dennis. Dennis is flying Innsbruck traffic Merlin 2 Brenner, 8,500 feet in Mount Sierra for arrival. There we go, that's Brenner now. So we're going to continue following the road northbound, hopefully. Yeah, so we're turning to 030 degrees, which is very normal. Going to hold altitude again, 8,200 feet. I love the moon and the mist, really. It's quite awesome. Mountains on the right, mountains on the left. Starting to see the Nordkette ahead. We've got Pachakofel there. This is the Sattelberg just on the left, which you can't really quite see. So again, just gonna... Actually, I can see that we're above that, so I'm gonna go direct to these lights down there. Okay, we want to reduce throttle, so I'm going to pop out the iPad for the settings for descent. Oh, that's bright. Now you can see the issue with night flying and bright screens. So settings, come in, brightness. No brightness settings. Checklists, speeds, no. Brenda to Juliet, right, okay, so he's coming straight towards me. Hold the heading north. Checklists, miscellaneous, brake, cruise, 2650 minus 2, right. Okay, we're following pretty good. There we go, keep going down. Pachakofel on the right there. So we're going to actually go to minus 2 on the prop. As the speed starts decreasing, we'll start adding more prop power in. So that was minus 2 on the throttle. Add more prop as we get closer. On the left, Serles. Just coming up behind the Geschnitztal, so this is Habicht. Got a bit of a mountain road there, which I don't actually know, don't understand why that's a thing. I have a feeling that might just be misplaced scenery. Got a bit of a sneeze. Pachakofel ahead. There's one departing, that might well be Dennis. We could go and intercept him, but meh. Okay, coming up we can now see Martinsvand. I'm going to reduce to minus 4. And the braking commence down to 200. Below 200 I'll start adding prop now. As we add more prop, we create more friction from the aerodynamics of the prop pitch. There's 2650, you can see the nose now pitching down.
Innsbruck traffic now, MS669 Lima Golf is airborne, passing front up 100 feet.
Nav lights are on, so he's visible with us. This is waypoint Sierra just underneath us now. We're at 7,000 feet descending. Innsbruck traffic, Merlin 2, Sierra, 7,000 feet descending, 4 runway 08. Okay, there we go, we're going to reduce the throttle further now that we're below 180. I'm just going to go idle, allow the engine to pop and bang. And I think we'll actually take 2.6 as we have a better chance of catching the lead-in lights for that. Innsbruck traffic, Merlin 2 making a straight approach from Sierra runway 26. So for 26 we're going to aim at the train station, which is, as you can see, right underneath the nose there. That's the train station. The airport's actually in sight already, but this is very realistic. You can't actually see the runway lighting. The runway lights are only visible from a certain angle on the glide paths of either runway. So what we can see is the apron lighting and the blue lights of the taxiways. We're coming in now below 6,000 feet, speed's 120, so I'm going to pop the gear down just to give us a better chance of descending quickly. At this point we do need to be more or less at 3,500 feet. There's Dennis flying away. We're going to hold our best glide speed of about 110 knots, but actually we don't want best glide speed, we need to be going a bit faster, otherwise we won't be losing enough. There's 5,000 feet, coming in over the Landsee now, which is somewhere on the right hand side down there. I can tell the terrain there. There's the motorway junction for Innsbruck, so there's going to be a road snaking around to the left there, yep, and then the right hairpin, correct, and then that should snake around further. And that's basically one of our ways in. We've got a lit up mast here. We want to be about 3,500 passing now, which is correct. We're at 4,000 now. Engine's going off, gear is down, prop we need to set high. Okay, that's prop set high. Gonna just trim it now. There's the lead-in lights, Innsbruck traffic. Merlin 2 is on base, runway 26. Okay, when we see the hospital, we're going to make a left turn over that. That's this building here, so we've got the hospital there. Flaps down. Add some power, we want to maintain about 100 knots to 90 knots just for the final approach. Once we get a too high descent speed, we're going to make a nice curved approach. By curved approach, what I mean is I'm now going to point the plane directly at a point where I know that I can make a final turn and still remain visual. So go on visual with the runway now. Start some side slipping, as seen in my real life video. Down, hard on the brakes, flaps up. Release the braking slowly as we slow down. Okay, that's the centre line lighting, and then that's the edge lighting. Spinning it around. Now, taxiway Zulu has no night lighting, so we can't be using Zulu for exit. Although if we wanted to, it's only here. Oh, that's actually quite good. I landed my Spitfire just before Zulu. Nice. It's always so a bit of a kind of challenge at Innsbruck is basically managing to land and exit before Zulu when you're coming on 26, as that's basically a simulation of a short runway. As you can see there, that's Zulu here. It's the end of the touchdown zone essentially, so basically landing completely within the touchdown zone. Okay, there's yellow. Follow the yellow lights. Innsbruck traffic, Merlin 2 vacated via Bravo. Taxi into general aviation parking over here. Typically you need a marshaller for this, so we would actually have to take this stand here, I think. Biggest planes here, so we're just going to be a bit careful. just get slightly onto the tarmac. There we go. Okay, we're on the tarmac now. Parking brake set and prop idle. Fuel mixture to idle cutoff. Fuel off. Magnetos off. And canopy open. And we'll just turn off that bit there. There we go. So yeah, that was a nighttime approach flight to Innsbruck from Trento, trying to use as little navigational equipment as possible. Review of the flight. Quick check, we had a flight time of 25 minutes, landing rate was -200 with 1.03 Gs. We actually followed the valley fairly well looking at the map. Hitting Sterzing, going around to Brenner, going over the top, and then making straight in runway 26 with a curved approach followed by a slip for visibility reasons. So yeah, that's how you do it in a Spitfire. Well, hey. Right, I've got chat here.